1964. A young Ed and Lorraine Warren are at an antique shop, speaking to a woman who believes an evil entity in her shop caused her father to commit suicide. Lorraine, who is very pregnant, goes into the back of the shop and sees a mirror with 3 faces carved on it that is believed to be the source of the evil. She touches the glass, which causes a crack and makes Lorraine's reflection smile sinisterly at her. She sees some visions before she starts to go into painful labor. Ed rushes Lorraine to the hospital, where the doctors frantically work to get her baby out. Lorraine sees visions of the mirror entity around the room trying to get to her. After a while, the baby appears to be stillborn. Lorraine cries and asks to hold her baby. She and Ed start desperately praying until the baby starts crying. Relieved, Lorraine tells the doctors the baby is named Judy. A brief montage shows Ed and Lorraine raising Judy. As a child, she runs to Lorraine scared about seeing spirits in the house. Lorraine teaches her the Lucy Locket rhyme as a way to help her ward off evil forces. 1986, West Pittston, Pennsylvania. We meet the Smurl family. Father Jack, wife Janet, Jack's parents, John and Mary, and daughters Heather, Dawn, Shannon, and Karen. The family attends Heather's confirmation and celebrates her birthday. John has bought her an antique mirror as a gift, the same mirror that the Warrens encountered. As the Smurls are cutting cake, a light from the ceiling comes crashing down onto the table and gives Heather a cut on her head. The following text states that after decades of paranormal investigations, Ed and Lorraine Warren thought they had seen everything. However, this particular case in Pennsylvania would be the one that brought their careers to an end. Ed and Lorraine are currently on a hiatus from paranormal work, choosing to give lectures at a university. They have dinner with a now adult Judy, who is implied to still be experiencing hauntings, something that Lorraine notices at the restaurant as it looks like Judy is whispering in tongues. The Smurls begin to experience strange occurrences. Janet is on the phone and has the cord pulled back, believing it to be the younger girls playing a prank, until she sees that nobody is in the closet where the phone was pulled into. Later, Shannon sees one of her toy dolls moving on its own before it floats up, and she sees the creepy image of an old hag spirit smiling at her, causing her to scream and run out of her room in a panic. Heather and Dawn are creeped out by the carvings on the mirror and leave it out on the street for the garbage men to pick up. In the morning, when the mirror is being crushed inside the truck, Dawn starts to get sick and begins to vomit blood and pieces of glass before she is taken to the hospital. Ed is seeing his doctor, who warns him about his health and his risk of having another heart attack. He later goes back to the house where Lorraine is hosting a birthday party for him. Judy brings her boyfriend, Tony Spera, whom she has been seeing for 6 months. Father Gordon also attends, telling the Warrens that the Smurls have been trying to get in touch with them, but the Warrens are still on their hiatus. Judy has been experiencing visions like her mother, being haunted by Annabelle and the creepy hag that appeared before Shannon. Later, Tony approaches Ed and Lorraine to ask for their blessing to ask Judy to marry him. While Lorraine is thrilled, Ed is less on board, thinking it's too early. However, Judy sees the ring, and Ed allows Tony to go ahead and propose, which Judy happily accepts.
Back at the Smurl house, the girls show concern for what is happening, but Jack doesn't believe there is any correlation between what happened to Dawn and anything else going on. Later at night, something causes Jack to levitate over his bed. Meanwhile, Heather watches a video from her party and slows down to see an image of a demonic face blowing out her candles next to her. Janet gets Jack down while the ghost of an axe-wielding maniac tries to attack Heather. The Smurls later take their story to the press, with word spreading about their haunting. Lorraine takes Judy dress shopping. The store attendant leaves Judy alone in the dressing room surrounded by mirrors. Judy starts to feel claustrophobic and finds the creepy hag ghost underneath her dress. Lorraine and the store lady come in to find Judy on the floor having a panic attack. Father Gordon visits the Smurls himself to try and help after he sees their story on the news. After speaking to Janet, Father Gordon goes to the basement and sprays holy water, causing some steam to come off the stairs. He later goes to the Diocese of Scranton to try and help the Smurls. The entity then haunts him there and causes him to grab a cord from a vacuum cleaner, which he wraps around his neck and then jumps off a balcony, hanging himself. The Warrens learn of Father Gordon's death and are devastated. At his funeral, Judy touches his casket and sees a vision. She asks another priest where Father Gordon died, and he is told in Pennsylvania. Judy disappears, leaving Ed, Lorraine, and Tony all worried until they figure she has gone to the Smurl house. After arriving to get her, the Warrens are ready to leave until Judy convinces them that the Smurls need their help. The Warrens and Smurls bond while they try to figure out what to do next. Ed learns from Tony that he quit being a cop after a violent encounter and made a quick decision to marry Judy as a result. Lorraine inspects the house and learns through her abilities that a woman and her mother were killed in the house by the woman's husband, the axe murderer. Lorraine thinks that there is a greater entity at play that is using the spirits of the man and his victims as a cover-up. Judy is drawn to the attic, where she finds the mirror fully intact. She then sees what looks like Annabelle growing to a gigantic size and chasing her through the house until she runs back into her parents. Ed and Lorraine are then stunned to recognize the mirror from the night Judy was born. Ed tells the Smurls about their relation to the mirror and the circumstances of Judy's birth before agreeing to help the Smurls expel the evil from their house. Ed and Jack attempt to move the mirror out of the attic. The mirror starts to untie itself and frees itself from their grasp. The spirits attack both families, knocking Lorraine into the basement and locking her in there, while Heather is possessed to go up to the attic in an attempt by the spirit to get her to hang herself. Ed and Tony manage to cut Judy free, causing all of them to fall through the drywall ceiling. While it seems as though Judy is unconscious and her parents frantically try to wake her, she is revived. The mirror entity makes one last attempt to kill the Warrens and Tony. Ed reads from the Bible to exorcise the demon, but it burns the Bible and the mirror flies closer towards them, pinning Tony to the floor. Lorraine and Judy work together with Ed to place their hands on the mirror. Judy tells the entity, "You're not there," causing it to scream and be released from the mirror, destroying it and ending the haunting for good. The following morning, the Warrens bid farewell to the Smurls. Tony helps Ed bring the broken mirror into their little museum of haunted artifacts, right next to Annabelle. Later on, Judy and Tony are married. Among the guests include people that the Warrens have helped in the past, like Carolyn and Cindy Perrone, Peggy and Janet Hodgson, and David Glatzel. During the reception, Ed and Lorraine dance as she tells Ed about a vision she had of their future, one where they are grandparents and continue to do their work to help people. Ed says, "It sounds perfect." The ending text states that the Smurl family continued to live in their house for another 3 years. They credit the paranormal events for strengthening their friendship. Ed and Lorraine Warren were married for 50 years until Ed's health took a sharp decline, where Lorraine cared for him until his death in 2006. She never remarried and died in 2019. While the Warrens' paranormal research was not highly regarded in the scientific community, they are credited as being pioneers in their field for the work they did and the people they helped.